Hello and welcome back to Romance and Rosé. One thing about me is I am a slut for a spoiler. Now, if you have not read the series, book 1, Lessons in Corruption, is also about King and Cressida. It is a reverse age gap, it's teacher-student, it's taboo, it's spicy, all the good things. Now, don't kill me. I haven't read it. No, I have not read Lessons in Corruption because way back when I had heard about the series, I was kind of reading the synopsis for all of them. I heard that they were interconnected standalones, and I read Reverse Age Gap Teacher Student, and I thought, it could be good, but I prefer age gap where the man is older versus the woman. I have since become a little bit more lax about it, but that was such a long time ago that I've loved Welcome to the Dark Side so much that I just wanted to move forward from there. And I feel like they did a really good job, Giana did a really good job, as the series progresses, kind of giving you recaps of what happened in Lessons of the Fall, or Lessons in Corruption. See, I just mixed book 1 and book 4 titles together. So I didn't really feel like I needed to read it. I'm still gonna have people in the comments telling me, just go back, read it, it's so good. I know it probably is, and maybe one day I will, but I like to move forward, not backwards. So here we are. So book 4 is about King and Cressida again. As far as timelines go, this book kind of overlaps with Good Gone Bad a little bit, which is the previous book about his sister, Harley Rose, and Danner. King has come back into the town with Cressida. She is back at school doing some student teaching, and he is prospecting for the Fallen, because even though he is basically Fallen royalty, he is the son of Zeus, who is the president of the Fallen MC, he has to go through initiation just like everybody else. And he's finally decided to take up his birthright and start prospecting. That's what they call it, right? Oh, I actually forgot to mention, this book starts out in a scene that's towards the end of the book where you know something bad is going to happen to King. He's explaining how he loves Cressida and he loves his family and how he's going to be sacrificing himself so that they can be safe. And this whole book is leading up to this scene where you know there's going to be like this big sacrifice. So it starts out like that. You're already like, it better not end the way it's suggesting. I'm trying to think of what happened in chronological order, because this book definitely felt more like a filler book in the series. Like, it was still very important. And this book actually led me to believe that these are not interconnected like, technically they are, but I think if you do not read the series in order like I did, if you were to just read this book without any of the other books in the series, you would be confused. I think there's so much information from the previous books that you need to get the full scope of what's happening. So Lulu is pregnant with twins on the way. Zeus is really excited about having 2 more little ones because he missed a lot of the childhood that his kids went through because he was in prison, remember, from Welcome to the Dark Side. Also, Harley, Rose, and Danner are working on taking down the Berserkers, which is a rival MC, kind of while King and Cressida's story is going down. King, he is so in love with Cressida. They are soulmates. He calls her Queenie because he's king and she's his queen. The whole MC has really just adopted her. She's his old lady. I hate that term, but I get the respect and the meaning behind it in communities like this. So he really wants to ask Cressida to marry him. But from book 1, I have gathered that she was put in danger because of King and his association with the Fallen MC. And she was pretty badly injured in a kidnapping that happened. And so now that he's prospecting with the Fallen, he kind of has this weird drop, like he wants to propose, but he feels like he doesn't want to put her in more danger. He doesn't want to put a larger target on her back. And I'm sitting here thinking, she's already your old lady. Like, it's basically the same thing, is it not? But for some reason, him taking that next step feels like it would be putting her in even more danger than she's already in. And he wants to wait until things are a little bit more settled, but he doesn't know when or if that'll ever happen. And Zeus, his dad, who is obviously the president of the Fallen MC, his opinions, especially while he's prospecting, is like, I don't know if I feel comfortable even making you, I don't know, a full-fledged member until you can get past this, until you're able to like feel comfortable enough proposing to Cressida. He's like, she's the love of your life. I see it, like soulmate level, okay? But he's just not ready yet. And so a lot of this book is like him finally making decisions and growing with the club and fighting for respect and power within that community. A lot of times he comes up with a really great idea, but the men don't really want to listen to him because they're set in their ways, and King kind of wants to usher in a new generation of doing things differently. And they, like I said, stuck in their ways, want to do things traditionally, sometimes a little bit more aggressively, and he wants to think smarter, not harder. So throughout the series, there has been this drug lord of sorts named Javier. I think that was his name. I have terrible book amnesia, so please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. But he's always here to just fuck things up, okay? We hate him. He has actually been in bed with the berserkers. He's trying to take over the territory so that he can just like do his drug business, right? And the Fallen MC, they make grade A marijuana, but they don't sell hard drugs. And, you know, it's their territory, so they're obviously going to protect it. And sometimes protecting it comes at the cost of like violence and things like that. Like Javier will arrange for product to be stolen, and then some of the fallen men will be hurt in those situations, and then they have to retaliate, obviously. All that kind of drama that we love so much. And of course, the spice in this book, it was spicin', okay? King and Cressida just have insane chemistry. He's very dominant. Even though he's younger, he gives off daddy vibes, and I'm obsessed with it. He's no Zeus, okay? No one's ever gonna be better than him, at least I don't think. I haven't gotten through all the books yet. But the spice in this was really good. He's a poet. We love a poet. So at one point, he's like up because he has like a little bit of insomnia, and he's just like scribbling in his journal down his poems, and Cressida comes up to him to be like, hey, come to bed, baby. He like strips her down, and he ends up like bending her over a table and just writing poetry all over her naked body before he rails her good and dirty. And like he was like reading the poems out loud that he wrote on her body. Stop. Romance, but like gritty and dirty, and I was here for every second. So he eventually does cave and go, I have to marry this woman. I just love her so much. There's no one else that's going to be there for me. My dad was right. I was just scared. And so he finally ends up being sworn in to the Fallen Men. He does his sort of initiation process, which was like, he had to like drink blood. They all like cut their hand and had to like put drops of blood into this special chalice, and then he had to drink it. And it was very just like, you know, manly, beat my chest, hear me roar, blah, blah, blah. So back in book 3, which was Good Gone Bad, while Harley Rose and Danner were working on taking down the berserkers, Lion Danner's dad is also on the force, and he's a corrupt cop. He's got his fingers in all the bad cookie jars, so to speak. He continues to be a grade A a-hole throughout the duration of this book. An incident happened in Good Gone Bad that caused an officer to lose his life. And so in this book, Officer Danner basically tries to frame Zeus for it, and it works for a minute. He ends up going back to prison. He's in there for months and months and months, and King is basically just trying to keep the club running while his dad is incarcerated. It sucks so bad because Lulu is about to have twins. She ends up giving birth to them while he is in prison. Despite his dad being in prison, they have to move on. He has proposed to Cressida. They've planned the wedding. It's their wedding day. They have this beautiful ceremony. And while they're partying afterwards, this drug lord comes on the scene and says, with guns blazing, by the way, he said, "I have more manpower than you. So if you don't want everyone in here to get slaughtered, you're going to come with me." So King is allowed to pick the location. He picks this special cliffside area. He's sort of been anticipating a move like this from him for a while. And this is the scene where they scuffle a little bit. The drug lord actually leaves and he's left at the cliffside with police officer Danner, not Lion, his corrupt father. So he ends up getting shot and thrown over a cliff. And he's basically presumed dead. So they get word that this thing happened over the cliffside, that King was shot, the body was not found, and Cressida is in mourning for a very long period of time. Picture Bella from Twilight, but probably a little bit worse, because she also finds out she's pregnant with his child. She's wasting away because not only does she not want to feed herself, she's also throwing up everything because first trimester. That happened to me. I threw up all 9 months of both my children. Shortly after King is presumed dead, I mean, not even shortly, it's like a month or something after that, Zeus gets let out of prison because they realized he was framed. Zeus is out of prison. They have a funeral for King. They're mourning. He's trying to just move past it, you know? He also is so in love with Lulu and knows how it would feel to lose her that he completely sympathizes with how Cressida is feeling at the loss of the love of her life, literally hours after being wed. Cressida decides what she needs to heal is to maybe leave town for a little while, take care of herself. As her pregnancy continues, she's like, I'll eventually have to come back here to get support in like single motherhood, but maybe I just need this time to get away. And she decides to go to the cliffside where King passed away. And she looks over the cliff and I feel like she threw something over the cliff. I can't remember what it was. And then she notices what the actual drop looks like and thinks someone could maybe survive that. So she ends up doing a little detective work. She calls over someone who apparently knew about like King and this whole thing. Basically, it was a fake death. I know you saw it coming. I saw it coming. For a second, I thought Giana was not going to deliver, that she was literally just going to kill King and make us suffer. But then I was like, you almost got me. Apparently, King had like left her clues too to try to like, because he was hidden somewhere in a safe house and he was trying to leave her clues to where he was, hoping that she would figure it out because he didn't really want to leave her. But he knew that if he wasn't considered dead, that people were still going to come after him because the drug lord, he's still alive. He's still got power in these places, blah, 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 XYZ. So then she ends up being taken to King. They have just like a beautiful reunion. The epilogue is actually a little bit of a time jump. They have 2 kids. Their first child is a little bit older. Their family still gives him grief about faking his own death and devastating everyone in the club. But they're happy. So next in the series is Inked in Lies. And most people, if they have a favorite in the series, it is either Welcome to the Dark Side or Inked in Lies. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this next one. As much as I enjoy this audiobook and it was very well narrated, it felt, like I said before, kind of like a filler book. Like it was definitely important, but I was excited to get through it so that I could move on to the next one. I am gonna start trying to transition doing my longer form videos on BookTube versus TikTok and Instagram, but I have so many long-form spoiler-filled reviews uploaded on both of those platforms, so I would definitely encourage you to, if this is your first experience with me, maybe checking out those platforms and seeing what I've already reviewed and had a really good time reading. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification bell so that you can be notified anytime I upload a juicy spoiler-filled review or any other delicious bookish content. Also, if you have read the Fallen Men series by Giana Darling, please comment below which one was your favorite and why. Or if maybe you have never read a Giana Darling book and have no idea what I'm talking about, this is an incredible series. I would highly encourage you to pick book 1 up, okay? Not like me, starting with book 2. Welcome to the Dark Side, though, if you did want to only commit to one, is my personal favorite. Heavy age gap, delicious spice, a little bit taboo. So definitely check your trigger warnings because it is a little bit of a darker series. Happy reading!